Hello friends, it's me again. Today is a sad day because tomorrow I'll be getting braces. Again. It used to be that I looked at other adults who are wearing braces and I'd think, wow, thank God I nipped that in the bud because I could not imagine having to wear braces as an adult. But I guess, lucky me, I'm not going to have to imagine that anymore because it's going to become a reality in less than 24 hours. A few months ago, I decided to do something that I thought was a very responsible thing to do, to get my teeth cleaned. Although to be completely honest, the truth of the matter is, I saw that my health insurance was expiring for that year and it included teeth cleaning, which I hadn't used, and I didn't want that to go to waste. So I booked my appointment and went. I innocently and all happy about the world went in, plunked myself right into that comfy dentist chair where they were supposed to lean it back, but before they did that they told me, hey, you've got to go and get a scan done. So I got right back up, got the scan, went back in, they cleaned my teeth, everything seemed hunky-dory, or so I thought. As the dentist chair was auto-moving itself back up into an upright position, my dentist swiveled his chair around, looked at me and asked the daunting and terrifying question.
Have you ever considered braces?
To say I was shocked is a huge understatement. I thought I was done with this stuff. I was shooketh to the core. Thought about it. I not only thought about it, but I slept, ate, and drank in them for over 8 years of my life. Turns out that wasn't enough. Let me tell you, my teeth and their orthodontic treatments have crossed countries, they've crossed continents, they've crossed oceans. You see, the issue that I have with my teeth now, and I'm gonna say this in the most layman terms possible because I don't remember the exact words that were used, but essentially, I have an overbite still. It's two sorts of overbites. One is something to do with the angle that the teeth hit each other, and the other one is the fact that my top and bottom teeth don't actually align. How is this still the case after 8+ years of treatment, you ask? Well, my friend, it all began in an old apartment building in Russia over a decade ago. My petrifying past with braces. One day, I was sitting at the table having my borscht with sour cream and gherkins and Russian black bread, and suddenly it hurt to bite the black bread. My bottom teeth were hitting the hard palate, the area behind my top teeth, which sounds crazy because how much of an overbite do you need to have in order for that to happen? But voila, this is what I had. I couldn't eat without it hurting. Sounds kind of terrible for a kid. So when I started to think that this might be unusual, because you know, as a kid you don't really know what's supposed to hurt and what isn't, I told my mum and she swiftly booked an appointment with a local orthodontist. Since I wasn't going to be staying in Moscow long term, I was given a temporary retainer so that I could eat without it hurting. At that time it was really fashionable, maybe not even at that time, but at that age it was really fashionable to have cool retainers, the ones with the multicolored patterns, stars, all that stuff. So I asked the orthodontist to make me one that had sparkles and stars and it was all in a blue gel. Yes, I had a blue sparkly starry retainer. Oh my god. Back in the UK, I was quickly pushed to the front of the NHS line because, well, as a kid who couldn't really eat, not great. And so I went to the first of many orthodontist appointments. And thus began my entire secondary school experience with braces. I again asked for cool colours. Blue, multicolored, any of those awesome colours. Why? Because when I was in primary school, there was an American visiting student who had multicolored braces and everyone thought it was so cool. That was the age when you take out your retainer and show off to your friends the colours that you have. So yeah, I had brightly coloured metal braces. I followed the dental practice as it moved locations. My orthodontist changed multiple times. I saw people gradually progress through their training. I had extra bands put in vertically and horizontally. I worked my way diligently through many boxes of wax, and I drank a lot of soup. And yet I was still in braces by the final year of my secondary school. That's right, no one in my secondary school, which is middle school plus high school, had ever seen me without braces. And then I left for Beijing. My teeth were not fixed, my braces were not off. One of the first things I had to do was find an orthodontist that could continue the treatment. I found one, but she did not seem very pleased and she did not want to take on my case. I didn't know why at the time, but I'll explain later why. Eventually, she succumbed and took me on. I was in the country for a year, so she tried to push my treatment to be as fast as possible. My treatment ended by the end of that year. I had minor surgery on my gum, I had teeth taken out, which was followed by a lot of icing, by a lot of cheap ice lollies because I didn't have a freezer at the time. And then I finally got my braces taken off. And now, years later, I'm at where I am now, and I'm about to get my braces tomorrow. So what was the issue? According to my dentist now, you're not supposed to change dentists because each dentist has their own way of practicing and their own way of coming up with a treatment plan. And in order for them to stick to that plan, you've got to stick with them until the end of your treatment. I think one of the issues that I had when I was doing it under the NHS was that my orthodontist got changed so many times that the plan was never really one singular plan. It was just stuff that was put in my mouth to continue the immediate goals, but without a very holistic view. I think my case was a little bit unusual, and my, teeth structure, the structure that I was born with was probably quite unique and definitely needed a much more experienced professional. And I think I was getting a lot of professionals who hadn't had that many cases yet, which then led to me meeting very short-term goals, but not really meeting long-term goals that would help with my entire structure. So what we're going to be doing now, according to the dentist, and I hope I've got this right, is I have to shift my lower teeth around so that they match the top. I can't actually chew tough meat, which is an issue that you usually get when you're older. I didn't really think too much of it because I don't eat that much meat as it is, but to have this issue at such a young age is probably something that I want to tackle. I had the choice of not getting braces. The dentist said that I would be fine for day-to-day life, but then as I get older, I may need to go in for more fixing, more corrections, and I may have even more difficulties with chewing tough meats and tough vegetables. Ultimately, I decided that this investment was worth it for the long run because I'm sincerely hoping he will be able to fix this issue, and then I will be able to chew tough vegetables and meat freely without pain, and my jaw will shut properly, and that my teeth will align. This is it, guys. I'm on the elevator ride up to get my braces in. Bye bye, braces left teeth.
Seventh floor.
I don't want to go in. Because if I go in, that would mean that that's it. I've got braces, and that's the next 9 months, a year. We'll see what the dentist says. But okay, I've got to do this. I've got to get back to work, otherwise I'm going to be late. Hello, I'm back, and as promised, with braces. Not extremely excited about this, but just got to stay zen and think about the positives. I may not be able to close my mouth properly, but I'll be able to chew tough things. I will not have to visit the dentist as often when I'm older. I will have an aligning jaw, and life will be better. Short-term suffering for long-term gains. So something that I've really wanted to bring up is if you are considering braces, be very careful and think about the bigger picture. The NHS, which is the UK's National Health Service, it's amazing that you can get these treatments for free as a child, but something that you have to be really careful about is whether or not you're going to be changing an orthodontist. The reason why an orthodontist doesn't really want to take on a half-done case is because each orthodontist has a different way of treating teeth. They will come up with an entire strategy. It's like a battle plan. Each appointment will have a goal, and then whatever is put on my teeth will be focused on that goal. If you switch orthodontists in the middle, oh god, was that a lisp? If you switch orthodontists in the middle, it can affect the way that your teeth are behaving. Your teeth can become weaker. For example, with mine, I know that a couple of my roots are not going to be as strong as they were originally, so the orthodontist is going to be keeping a very close eye on that, and we have to be careful because I don't want to end up losing teeth, because that'll be worse than not being able to chew tough meat and vegetables, for sure. If you are thinking about getting braces, the main takeaway that I want anyone to have is stick to one plan. Of course, if you feel like it's not working or that you're not able to communicate with the orthodontist, yes, change, but be very careful. I switched way too many orthodontists, and I think it really affected and prolonged my treatment to the extent that it didn't get finished after so many years. Now I have to do it again as an adult, and I'm hoping that this time will be the last. I never want to have to go through braces again. I'm back to using this stuff. If you've had braces before, you know what this is. This is the dental wax that you put in. My mouth is not used to having braces, and it does not feel great, to put it lightly. It's not a disaster, but it's just not comfortable. Just definitely worth avoiding if you can. I didn't need to have a full mouth of braces yet. He's gonna do that later. This is very interesting for me because I've never gone through a treatment plan where you only tackle specific teeth for that stage. So the next stage, he says there'll be 5 maybe brackets on the bottom to move those specific teeth. I'm quite hopeful about this treatment. A year down the line, I will let you know whether or not I'm done with braces forever, or no, there's no alternative. A year later, I will show you that I will be done with braces forever. forever. Something that I did learn about the difference between ceramic braces, which is what I got this time for the top teeth, and metal ones, which is what I had before and what I'll need for the bottom. The reason being because metal ones are more sturdy and less likely to fall off. And if it falls off, it's going to prolong the treatment again, which I really don't want. But the top one, I'm not going to have too much movement, so I went with ceramic braces. One difference that I didn't think about before was the size of the brackets, so apparently, and I feel like this is true because I can't really shut my mouth fully, the ceramic braces are thicker. I think it's because they're made of a weaker material and they need more of it to sort of stick to your teeth. So the ceramic braces are bigger. I'm hoping that my mouth will just get used to it and then it'll be a little bit less noticeable. I did realize that now is probably the best time, considering how in Hong Kong we have to wear masks anyway, so most people will not be able to see it. But I can't wait for it to be done. Can't wait for it to be done. Please let this treatment go successfully, smoothly, as pain-free as possible, and quickly. I will be updating you all from time to time on the progress of my braces and the entire treatment, whether or not it is successful, and there is no choice, it has to be successful. I think the mental barrier was a little bit difficult because I really didn't want to have to go through it again. It was such a huge part of my life that I was so glad to be done with, and then I have to do it again. But I'm thinking of a brighter future, one in which I will not see braces ever again, and I will have good teeth. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and watching me ramble through my story of braces. As always, stay safe and healthy. Until next time, bye!